Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to start an LLC in North Carolina, and trust me, it's actually a lot simpler than you might think. Whether you're launching your first online business, starting a consulting service, or turning your side hustle into something more official, I'll break down everything you need to know. So let's talk about why North Carolina might be the perfect state for your LLC. You see, North Carolina has actually become quite the hotspot for business owners, and there are some really compelling reasons for that. First of all, North Carolina's economy is absolutely booming right now. The state has been consistently ranked as one of the best states for business, and you know what? That's not just empty praise. The thing is, North Carolina offers this amazing mix of urban opportunities and rural charm, which basically means you can find your perfect business environment no matter what type of company you're starting. Now, when it comes to costs, North Carolina is actually pretty business friendly. The filing fees are quite reasonable compared to many other states. And, well, the overall cost of doing business here tends to be lower than in states like California or New York. Plus, North Carolina's tax structure is generally favorable for small businesses, which, means more money stays in your pocket. Another huge advantage is the state's strategic location. You see, North Carolina sits right in the middle of the East Coast, which basically gives you easy access to major markets from Florida all the way up to New York. And with 3 international airports and multiple seaports, well, you're really well positioned for both domestic and international business. Now, before we dive into the nitty-gritty details, let me share what I think is the absolute easiest way to get your LLC up and running. So I highly recommend using Taylor Brands for your LLC formation. They've really streamlined the whole process, and you can find a special discount link for their services in the description and pinned comment below. The thing is, Taylor Brands handles all the paperwork, all the filing, and basically everything else you need to get started. They'll even help you with your registered agent service, which, trust me, is something you definitely need in North Carolina. Now, let's talk about one of the most exciting parts of starting your business, choosing your company name. But here's the thing, there are some specific rules you need to follow in North Carolina. First and foremost, your name has to be unique. You can't use a name that's already taken by another business in North Carolina. And actually, I recommend checking the North Carolina Secretary of State's website to make sure your chosen name is available. The search tool is really user-friendly and it's absolutely free to use. Also, your company name must include the words Limited Liability Company or the abbreviation LLC or LLC. Now, here's a pro tip. You might want to consider reserving your name while you get the rest of your paperwork together. The reservation fee is only $30, and it holds your name for 120 days, which gives you plenty of time to get everything else sorted out. The next crucial step is choosing your registered agent. Now, this might sound a bit technical, but basically, a registered agent is just a person or company that accepts legal documents on behalf of your business. They need to have a physical address in North Carolina and be available during regular business hours. You actually have a few options here. You could be your own registered agent if you live in North Carolina, or you could use a professional service. Personally, I recommend going with Northwest Registered Agent. They're incredibly reliable and professional, plus they take privacy really seriously. You can find a discount link for their services in the description and pinned comment below. The thing about being your own registered agent is that while it might save you some money, it comes with some pretty significant drawbacks. For instance, you'd need to be available at your registered address during all business hours, and well, your home address would become public record. That's why many business owners prefer using a professional service. Speaking of professional services, let's talk about what comes next in the formation process. Now let's dive into filing your articles of organization, which is really the heart of forming your North Carolina LLC. This is where things get official, and I'll walk you through exactly what you need to do. The articles of organization is the document that legally creates your LLC in North Carolina. You'll need to file this with the Secretary of State. And honestly, it's pretty straightforward. The filing fee is $125, and you can submit it online through the Secretary of State's website or by mail. When filling out your articles, you'll need to include your LLC's name, principal office address, and your registered agent's information. You'll also need to specify whether your LLC will be member managed or manager managed. Now, if you're just starting out, member managed is typically the way to go, as it means the LLC's owners handle the day-to-day operations themselves. I really recommend using Tailor Brands for this step. They'll handle all the paperwork for you and make sure everything's filed correctly. You can find a discount link for their services in the description and pinned comment below. So here's something interesting. North Carolina doesn't legally require an operating agreement, but trust me, you absolutely want one. Think of it as your LLC's instruction manual. It spells out how your business will run, who owns what percentage, and how decisions will be made. Your operating agreement should cover things like profit distribution, voting rights, and what happens if someone wants to leave the business. Even if you're the only member of your LLC, having this document helps establish your business as a separate legal entity, which is crucial for maintaining your liability protection. Next up, you'll need to get an EIN, Employer Identification Number, from the IRS. Think of this as your business's social security number. You'll need it to open a business bank account, hire employees, and file taxes. The good news is that getting an EIN is completely free, and you can do it online through the IRS website. The process usually takes about 15 minutes and you'll get your number right away. Just make sure you have all your LLC information handy when you apply. Now, depending on what type of business you're running, you might need specific licenses or permits. North Carolina regulates certain industries more heavily than others, so you'll want to check both state and local requirements. For example, if you're opening a restaurant, you'll need health permits. If you're starting a construction company, you'll need contractors' licenses. The North Carolina Department of Commerce website has a comprehensive list of regulated industries and their requirements. Let me share some common pitfalls I've seen people run into when forming their North Carolina LLC. First, don't skip the operating agreement just because it's not required. That's a huge mistake that could come back to bite you later. Another common error is mixing personal and business finances. As soon as you get your EIN, open a separate business bank account. This keeps your personal assets protected and makes tax time much easier. Also, don't forget about ongoing compliance requirements. North Carolina requires annual reports to be filed by April 15th each year, along with a $50 filing fee. Missing these deadlines can result in penalties or even the dissolution of your LLC. Once your LLC is formed, there are a few more things you'll want to take care of. Set up a business bank account, get any necessary insurance coverage, and establish a good bookkeeping system. If you want to make this whole process easier, I really recommend using Tailor Brands. They'll handle most of these steps for you and make sure nothing falls through the cracks. Remember, you can find that discount link in the description and pinned comment below. Remember, forming an LLC is just the beginning of your business journey. Take time to understand your responsibilities as a business owner, and don't hesitate to seek professional advice when needed. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more business tips and guides. Drop any questions you have in the comments below. I'm always happy to help.